Welcome to the Scene Snobs podcast.
Welcome, everybody. It is Thursday. No, I'm sorry, it's Tuesday. Is it Tuesday?
Yeah, it's Tuesday, big guy. You all right today?
All right, I'll see you later.
That's a lot of drugs already. Hi, everyone.
Welcome to the Scene Snobs podcast. I'm your host, Mick Manhattan, joined as always by my partner in crime, the man, the myth, the legend, the madman, Casey Blott. Oh, I got that right.
A pleasure as always. You nailed it. You pointed the right direction. Yeah, you crushed it. Well
First
done.
time for everything. For everybody listening to this podcast later, I pointed to him on the video very nicely.
Yes, like perfectly. It was fantastic. I felt very like you gave me the Carson push. I felt good.
Well, brother, it's a new week, and how are you, my friend?
I'm doing really well, man. Rocking and rolling, just enjoying the heck out of this week and a whole bunch of entertainment and just like front loading now, having an actual schedule. So I no longer have to stress about things. So I've been able to just enjoy television and shows again and movies and stuff that I haven't been able to sit down. Usually it's all on the run. And now I'm like, nah, I get to dedicate some time and watch this. So it's been cool.
Yeah, last week was pretty heavy on the movie front because I think just everything had come out, and like I did like 4 movies in 2 days, and I was like, I don't even know how I'm doing this. Like it was while I'm doing everything else in my life, and they were not easy movies.
No, they were pretty hefty. You went through some big ones. I did as well, though. I tackled some monsters, man.
What you got for me? What'd you tackle?
Well, I went on a James Bond kick, hardcore, after our previous conversation where I decided Skyfall was trash, and I had to rewatch that. So I just started rewatching all of Daniel Craig and then watched No Time to Die, and it was so good and
So good.
So well, and just made Daniel Craig's storyline so fantastic. I really loved it, and it made everything else better. Even crappy Skyfall was better.
Well, I know you. First of all, how dare you besmirch the amazing movie Skyfall, the best James Bond movie of all time?
I mean, Die Another Day was better than that.
No, it wasn't.
I think so. Look, Diamond Face Zhao was bad news, man.
I may need to. I was talking to Tim about this, Tim Forbes, because he was like, "No."
From Funny Science Fiction Podcast. Oh wait, no, that's
Bicycle. Tim is. We've had Tim on the show before. He's our resident horror fiend.
Oh yeah, duh. Dracula.
Tim was listening to you, and he went back and rewatched all the Pierce Brosnan movies. And I was like, and he's texting me. He's like, "Yeah, I'm rewatching them because Skyfall sucks." And I'm like, "No, you're wrong. You're wrong.
Skyfall is terrible." And I, quite frankly, think Pierce Brosnan is much better.
Listen, I'm telling you right now, Skyfall is the best one. And you gotta at least give me it's the best cinematography of all of them.
Bullcorn, absolutely not. After rewatching Quantum of Solace, no sir.
Quantum of Solace over there?
Yeah.
Oh my god, I can't even talk to you right now. You are a madman.
Big time. I was really impressed by Quantum of Solace's story as well. I mean, look, I've got to say the sweeping battle and fight still absolutely go to Casino Royale thus far. That opening was awesome. The crane scene, I was still sweating. I got sweaty palms watching it. They're all up there attacking each other so high up in the air. If someone slips,
it's not great. Even the second best one.
Oh, you can please.
It's Skyfall. It's Skyfall. Then it's Casino Royale. Actually, and I would say No Time to Die is the third.
Yeah, no, I'd say No Time to Die might be number 1 for me now. It might honestly be tops. It was so good.
I refuse in any world. Listen, Roberto Schaefer is an amazing cinematographer. He is truly fantastic. For anybody who doesn't know him, he's done movies like Let the Right One In. He's done Finding Neverland. He's done tons of stuff. Mm-hmm. But Skyfall was done by Roger Deakins, who arguably is the greatest cinematographer of all time.
Yeah, it's too bad that he really phoned it in on that movie.
I hate you so much right now. You bastard. How dare you?
Just saying, for being such a powerhouse, he really handed that off to the second assistant.
All right, I'm moving on So I saw Ghostbusters Afterlife last week, but I went to the AMC like I had said. You can see it right over my shoulder. I got the one.
Yeah, I'm very proud of you. I know you're super happy.
Dude, I waited online for
stoked.
like 2.5 hours for that.
No, you earned it, bro. 100%. I'm glad you got it.
I'm glad you brought that up because when we were standing in line, we were talking to everybody who was in line with us. And, it was like a good old-fashioned, like, geeks in a line. Like we're having good conversation, And Tommy came with me. And he was, like, kind of cold. We're standing outside. And he's like, oh, man, it's, like, really cold. I was like, listen, man, do you want one of these Ecto ones or not? He goes, yeah, I do. I was like, this is how you earn your collectibles, man. This is how you earn them. You got to wait in the lines.
So you taught him about having grit.
That's
true
right.
Grit.
And this is why I love the geek community. Everybody was cool about it. Like everybody, like, cause we were standing out from the line, from the door all the way back towards the street. And it started to rain. And I was like, guys, you mind if we shuffle under the canopy? And everybody in uniform shuffled right under. No questions. Nobody bitched or anything. So we're under the canopy and then but the wind is blowing. So there was like 3 people and then there was 2 people ahead and we were third in line. And there was like a little alcove area. And they were like, come here. Put him in the alcove area. And we were just a wall barrier for the wind for him. And it was like the geek community came together and we did something really nice. And
always, man, that was one of my favorite parts of hanging out for GameStop for games releases. That was always a blast, man. It just is such a little event that would be put on. Everyone's there for the same purpose. No one's trying to be a jerk and like shuffle in line. Inevitably, there's a few drunken assholes that show up because that's in every community. But it was always fun. Everyone really came together and was always there to celebrate. And it's nice. It's fun to get that in that community.
Yeah. And we were, it was very cool for him because like he has his things he's geeky about. And when he brought him up, like Magic or video games, stuff like that, there was somebody there to be like, yeah, I do that too. Or not Magic, Pokemon is what he's into right now. I think he's starting to get into Magic.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
I was like, I can't afford that.
No, brother. Good luck. I mean, it was bad when I was a kid. And now some of those prices, when River was getting to Pokemon, I was like, well, this is doable. Like, I can get by because there's people like cycling collections that are years old. So they just, people are throwing that out all the time. But Magic cards, bro, nah. That stuff's another level. I was part of that for a bit, man. We covet those things.
Well, but Pokemon this year's 25th anniversary edition. And they put out, Tommy really wanted, because he doesn't listen to the show, I can say this. He really wanted the Elite Trainers Box Celebration Edition.
Oh, he's right by the door right now going,
No. He is away for Thanksgiving, which he's with his dad for Thanksgiving. So, but he kept telling me he wanted this thing. So I was like, all right. I was like, you can't get it. It's too expensive because it is. It's like astronomical at this point. Everybody's sold out and like people who are selling them are crazy. But I got one.
Oh, buddy. Oh, man. How much did that hurt?
It hit hard.
Yeah.
It hit pretty hard. But it's worth it because the smile on his face is going to be great.
Who says you can't buy your child's love?
Yeah, right?
Welcome to Christmas.
No, I just want to do something nice for him. I did. Because he deserved it. He's a hardworking kid. So.
Oh, I get it, man. I'm just busting your balls.
You stop busting my balls. You did enough with Skyfall, damn it.
I'll never stop that now.
Oh, man. Rewatch it. You'll love it.
I'm in the middle of it, and I napped.
Oh, my God. I love that movie. I need to rewatch.
I didn't nap to Casino Royale or no Quantum of Solace. Nope. No Time to Die. I was locked in.
What was the one
lots
after?
Of napping.
What's the one after? I can't remember the name of it.
Spectre,
that's what it was. Okay, yeah.
I love Spectre. Spectre was one I loved the most at the time because Blofeld was the tits.
If I had to rate them myself, I would say Skyfall, Casino Royale, No Time to Die, Spectre, Quantum of Solace. That's
amazing how wrong your list is.
All right, so back to
you really just completely unshuffled yourself.
Back to the collectibles. I see. That's where we're going with this. Yeah, so we did it. We got those. It was funny because we weren't sure if they were going to sell one to each of us. Like he had his card to buy it, and I had mine. So it was like, all right, you go stand in this line. I'm going to stand in this line to purchase it. And he's like, what if they don't sell it to us because we have one ticket? because some people were talking about it.
Yeah.
Like we have our tickets on the same purchase.
Right. No, I'm Roger.
I was like, well, I'll pick one up. And he goes, can I have it? And I was like, absolutely not. That'll never happen. Evidence right there.
And then I hope you face palmed him into a puddle.
Well, it all worked out and he got one, so we'll never have to know.
No chance, kid.
But you want to know? You'll love this. You'll love this part.
I'm sorry. It's just would have been a great opportunity for you to be like, no dice.
No, that was. Oh my god! I wish I did say that actually. So we go on. So we go to the mall for the AMC. So we showed up early. I picked him up from school early, and we went to the AMC just to get there early to see if we could actually just buy one early. And weirdly enough, the AMC didn't open until 5:30. It's very weird. COVID screwed everything up. There's no matinees anymore or anything like that. So we go into the mall. This is really Tommy's first time, like, kind of cruising the mall.
Oh my gosh!
Every time he's been in there, it's been like we're gonna beam, we're gonna get what we need to get and get out. This was like a wanless aimer. Wanless aimer. That'd be a cool thing. An aimless wanderer, and because he wants something to eat. And he was like, hey, can I get Chick-fil-A? And I'm like, absolutely not. They hate everybody. So we keep going. We just cruise through. And we pass by a store, and he goes, hey, this seems cool. Can we go in here? And it's Hot Topic. And I was like, let me tell you about the wonders of Hot Topic back when we were kids.
And so it begins.
And so it begun. I was like, this was for the geeks. This is really only a place you could go, the geeky people could go to get stuff that they needed, band shirts,
True.
All that jazz, all the collectibles. Mm-hmm. And so we go in, and he's in wonder. He's like, because it's still the same, but it's very different too now. They have a lot of stuff. And so we go in. He found a Shang-Chi shirt that he really wanted, so I got him that.
Nice.
And then they had like a whole mess of Pops on sale. So I was like, yeah, we're doing this. So I got a whole mess of Pops. So, but we're kind of cruising around. We're just doing our thing. I even got Mary a Mrs. Peacock Clue Pop.
That's pretty amazing. And I'm sorry, but when you say a mess of Pops, I just feel like it's something terrible that happens in Minnesota, like a soda accident where they just, where like you everywhere. You have a 12 pack just explode everywhere. Oh, it was a whole mess of Pops.
Get the hammer. We got to close these Pops up. Ah! Because why would that make sense? To start banging bottles with hammer.
Sounds perfect.
You know what? It was fun though to go and do it because right after we did that, we got some stuff at Hot Topic for seriously overpriced. Actually, they did have a really good sale on Pops. That was the cool thing. But so we leave and he's hungry. So I'm like, all right. I mean, we're in food court. We can go anywhere. I was like, what you want? You want Sbarro's? Come on, let's go get Sbarro's. He's like, no, I don't want that. I was like, okay. So I felt like a back alley dealer at this point. Not a drug dealer, like a back alley, like
mixtapes or like
mixtapes or like movies, yeah, like film movies, stuff like that, like that type of. All right, what you want? We got.
This is the stuff that came off the truck. I got you.
Exactly.
Yeah, it fell off the truck,
or it's just so faux that it's like Folex. Here you go. You want fancy Folex? Bring
it's home. It's not Coach. It's Kook.
Kook. Yeah. It's kind of like a little red symbol on it. My stepmom snagged a fake Dooney and Burke once, and it was like it was ridiculous. I don't even remember what it was. It would look like D, and it was supposed to be another D, but they like put a slice in the middle of the D, so it looked like a B. It was terrible. It was so bad. Worst knockoff ever. There was a funny one when we were in New York one time, and it was a Michael Kors.
Oh no!
Oh, it was so funny, and I was just like, "It's a P. It's a clear P. What are you talking about? I got this Michael Kors for you." But I felt like one of those back alley dealers you see in New York City, and so I'm like, "So what you looking for? What you got? What you got? You want the best pretzel in town?" And he goes, "Ooh, what's that?" And I'm like, "Annie Ann's. Let's go. Let's rock." And we went and we ate some Annie Ann's, and I'll tell you, that kid was in seventh heaven.
Well, because it's amazing. Annie Ann's is a staple. Whether you go with the sugar topping, which is always delightful, or if you ever have, I love their wrapped hot dogs with that terrible fake nacho cheese, which is not cheese, barely a food product, but man, is it good.
Oh, I am so stuff like that, man. Like I was so happy because I'm telling him, I was like, yeah, man, I worked in a mall from like age 14. I wasn't supposed to. And he's like, where? I was like, my brother worked for Kinney Shoes, and I worked in the stock room. And then I was like, I worked at Easy Spirit. And he's like, what's that? And I was like, I don't want to tell you.
Not yet, man.
Yes, that's true, everybody. When I was 15 years old, turning 16, I worked for a women's shoe store. And not like sexy, luscious shoes. Easy Spirit gives off that vibe. But let me tell you, it was old women tennis shoes.
Oh, 1,000% you were an Al Bundy.
I was an Al Bundy. And that, dude, all right. Let me tell you a funny story. Now you can see you can get a funny story out of me. So I was a salesman at that store. Mm-hmm. So, and I worked for this woman, Melissa. She was really cool. She was a good boss, but I was really not in. I was a high school kid. I didn't care. So I was like, I'm not selling any accessories. I don't care. And they need the accessories pushed. Mm-hmm. So she used to make me wear a purse until I sold it. And I will tell you, that made me an amazing salesman, because when you're a high school kid and all your friends are hanging out at that mall, you do not want a purse. And she would say, every day you have to put a purse on and you have to wear it around the store, and that's it until you sell it. And I'll be damned, every day I sold it as fast as I could. And that's why I became such a good salesman, because I was like, nope, I don't talk anybody into this thing that they do not need.
I mean, necessity is the mother of invention, and you need to get that purse off you. Now, I'm curious though, which portion of the mall were you in? Were you near the food court hangout area, or were you like one of the wings?
See, I love it. That's why we work so well together, is because we know malls so well. I was in one of the wings, but it was the main entrance wing.
Okay, like near a main Sears or something?
Well, no. So the way it worked was it was in fours.
Okay.
So the wings would go out and have the north, south, east, west wings, and then the big department stores on each wing, like most malls do. But this is one of the big ones in Jersey, Woodbridge Mall. And like they have an opening, which is the main entrance.
Oh, okay. It had one of those with like its own name of the mall, and that was the entrance to the mall.
Yeah.
Okay, roger that. I got you. So you were on that side.
Oh, and as soon as you come in, like there's a few other stores and stuff really cool, but like you can see the Easy Spirit like as soon as you walk in.
Oh, that's terrifying then. And you had to walk with a purse, bro. Yeah, that's got to come off quick.
Oh, no doubt. So like now I wasn't by any of the really cool stores. Like there was in the beginning, there was a really cool collectible comic book shop not too far, and Hot Topic goes down a little bit more. So I knew people were going to pass from my school to go to those places. Mm-hmm. And other than that, they like Chick-fil-A and everything else down there.
And God forbid it's going to be that day when like the cute girl walks by and you're going to be like, oh no, shuddering, hiding behind the aisles, like running behind, like, oh no, did she pass? Like, yeah.
I was so hard set against working anywhere near the middle of the mall where most of the main food stores were. They didn't really have a food court.
Okay.
They had a lot of restaurants in that mall, like bigger restaurants, and then they had a lot
it was one of those high-end malls.
It was a high-end
ones. Okay.
At that time, it was a high-end mall. It is not anymore. But like they had a lot of fast food restaurants and stuff like that, and all the normal fare, like right around the carousel.
Okay.
Which was towards the center of the mall. Now the center had like a skylight and like was a beautiful court, and it had tables and stuff to eat at. So it had like a food court to go and sit, but it wasn't like surrounded by food. Like it was just
it didn't look like Starcourt Mall.
Yeah. So everybody would go there, and then during like Christmas, they had Santa there and everything. So that was the chaos. Now I was maybe a football field away from, not maybe half a football field away from there.
Wow.
So I was cool with it.
Yeah.
But because I worked at a lot of different stores in that mall, and I always made sure to not work at any stores near that area.
Was there a particular reason you bounced around between all these stores? Was it bad managers, buddy? It was
No. It was just like, because I just wanted to okay.
Or seasonal work kind of deal?
No. So I worked at Easy Spirit for when I was 15 and 16. Then they were closing up. Easy Spirit in that mall was closing up. It wasn't. I guess just wasn't doing well. Oh no! I'm sorry. They did close up, but it was later. That was a bad manager. Melissa left, and then somebody else took over, and I could not stand her. So I was like, I'm out, and I quit. Whatever. I'm 16. So I love your face when you take the drink, and you're just like, I'm listening intently. So my buddy John was dating Melissa, and he saw me just kind of chilling, walking around the mall. He's like, "Hey, you still at Easy Spirit?" And I was like, "Nah, I quit there. I didn't like it." He goes, "Bro, you need a job?" And I'm like, "Sure." Now he was a musclehead straight through. Like he was gym rat musclehead, and he's like, "Bro, come with me." And like we ran upstairs and we went to this place called Vitamin World, and he worked there. And he was like, "Hey," he goes to the manager. He's like, "Hey, my buddy needs a job." So I was like, "Really? I'm going to work in Vitamin World?" Okay. Now GNC was there. GNC had all the sexy ladies and all of them. Like it was sexy and sleek. Vitamin World looked like a Vitamin World. Like
health conscious.
Yeah, it was empty. Like you get 3 customers a day at Vitamin World, and they all buy like $5,000 worth of stuff.
Good night.
Yeah, that's how they say it's sustained.
Wow.
And it was the 90s, so everybody was sustaining with the vitamins then. Ginkgo biloba. And amphetamines were okay. You could sell amphetamines back then.
Yeah. Those were the great days, weren't they?
They really
Take a whole bunch of amphetamines before you went out onto the field and go play a game. Woo!
Oh, my God. I didn't know what amphetamines were. Like, I just sold the stuff. I didn't know what it was. So we had a bunch of
samples. I was just a legal dealer at 15, 17 years old, whatever it was.
Basically. I was like, it's legal, fine, whatever. It's in the
Surprise.
Vitamins. But we got sample bottles of this stuff all the time. And now I'm 16, awesome. And like these older guys who are all gym rats and like bodybuilders and stuff are like, here, if you ever get tired and you're just not doing anything because nobody ever came in and you were bored, just here, pop some of the samples. I was like, okay. And then, Jesus, that stayed up for like 4 days. So it was insanity. So it was short-lived there. I was like, all right, I think we can go get, because I worked as a third assistant manager there or something. It's something asinine. And they needed a second assistant manager at Suncoast. And I was like, sign me up. I love movies. So that's why I went to Suncoast. And that was my last foray at the mall.
Nice. That's a strong career in the mall.
At Suncoast lasted until, so I went there when I was like 17.
I feel like there's a whole lot of movie potential in all of that. Like we could definitely throw something down with all of that movie, with all of that mall experience.
I barely scratched that surface with that amphetamines thing. We could definitely tell a 90s movie and make it fun.
It'd be a weird go. Just focused in the mall.
You know how little of people came in? So everyone that I knew that worked at the mall, and that was everybody I went to school with, worked at the mall. They all worked different stores, and they stayed for like an hour or two every night to clean up because they wanted to work at the cool stores. Vitamin World, I literally walked out, locked the door, and that was that. Because, again, you get 3 customers a day, and when you're taking amphetamines in the 90s and you're already a 16-year-old athlete, you're dusting everything just for the fact you want to dust everything.
Yeah, a lot of things are getting done well before out time. Oh yeah.
So like I think the mall closed at like 9:30, and I was out at 9:31 every night. And my friends who I hung out with would be like, "Hey, are we going to go hang out? Are we going to do something?" And it's just, and we didn't have cell phones back then, so you had to go find them. And they're like, "Well, we got to wait till the store closes." I'm like, I got to sit here for like an hour. Come on, man. I was like, I just finished work.
Waiting was always the worst. I still don't like to wait. It's dumb.
It really was. But I enjoyed it. I liked working at the mall when I was young. I couldn't do that crap anymore. But
no, not anymore. Retail now, especially around holidays, get out of here.
Never again.
No, sir. Again. I don't know what I would do. I anything else.
Thank God. Casey saved me from the world of sales when I moved to Virginia, because I just came down for a visit and I was staying with Casey because we were friends back then, but I was living up in Jersey. And I was like, I hate my job.
And I said, you should just stay, because if you hate your job and you hate the trajectory of your life, you should change it and do what's right by you. And you did. And now I am responsible for the family that you now have. You're welcome.
Thank you, sir. And it's true. And
I'm your Clarence.
I have 2 brothers that live here. I have 2 brothers that live here that introduced me to you. And I had nowhere to stay when I came down to Virginia unless Casey allowed it. And Casey always allowed it. So I'm not.
Always, man. Always.
It wasn't a matter of like, I didn't even have to ask, but I always would.
Yeah, it was really dumb. Like, as I'm setting it up, he's like, oh, hey, is it cool if I stay here? I'm like, oh, you mean the thing that I'm doing for you right now?
Yeah, you'd be laying out of bed for like getting it ready for me. And you're just like, and I'm just like, hey, man, you mind if I stay? And it's like, the bed is ready.
Like, you. What are we talking about? I've already got a 6-pack ready to go, man. We're doing this. Let's hang out.
We're talking
Watch
all
a
night
movie, just talk all night. Yeah, that's really all we wind up doing.
Yeah.
This in a garage.
This in a garage is exactly what we did. And we would always say, we need to do this in a garage. And we did it on Mystery Elephant. But here, like, I feel like this is closer because we always talked about the craziest topics of movies and stuff like that. So, like, which
Speaking of which, I do have a couple. I know we have some topics to get into. We do have some folk here. Well, I want to say hi to some people.
Let me pull up. I'll start from the beginning. So we're going to do our comment corner right now. Kathleen Wass, it's Tuesday. Hello, dear friends.
Hi, my dear, wonderful friend Kathleen. It's so wonderful to see you.
John Wass.
Hi, buddy.
I dig the mustache, too.
Thank you. It was moments away from going off.
No,
I started working on the wall and then was like, you know what? I'm going to finish November. I'm just going to do it.
It looks good on you. When you keep it shaped like that, it looks good.
Yeah, from far away and with a bad camera. And maybe if I have a microphone, it looks great.
Oh, too many Tims. There's none.
Oh, yes, to all the Tims. No, I love my Tims.
I need to rewatch the Bond movies and convince John to watch them with me.
John, watch them.
The geek community is amazing.
It is.
Teach your kids about collectibles and collectible cards, and they'll never have money for drugs.
That is a lie.
Yeah, that's not true at all. Did I not tell you about the free samples of fentanyl? Of amphetamines, I mean?
Yeah, not fentanyl. Good Lord, that's
fentanyl,
a very different thing.
That's a way worse thing. I giggle during the torture scene in Casino Royale every time I watch it because you are a mad woman.
I mean, no, I laugh uncomfortably because I imagine it happening and things aren't good.
That's why I never. Good. That is the reason I never became a spy. That's the only reason.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, torture. I'm good with everything else, but the torture's like that's a bit rough.
Oh no, they asked me, but I was like, nah, man, I can't get hit in the nuts.
Yeah, I remember that time I too was approached by several different agencies, and they were like, "Hey, you want to do this?" And I was like, "Nah, torture, bro."
Yeah, nah, I'm not into it. I'm gonna go work at Easy Spirit. Radar says my favorite off-brand I saw was Goosey.
Goosey, I love it.
Go see House of Goosey this weekend in theaters. I don't know because I don't know if it's gonna be good.
Hi, Radar.
Pretzels. I have Annie Ann's in my freezer, and I might need a pretzel now. Go make a pretzel and tell us how it is.
Especially if you have fake cheese.
Oh my God, the fake cheese is amazing, and I had it. Our nearest mall is a pathetic shell of its former self. It makes me kind of sad to go there now. Yeah, malls have fallen by the wayside.
Yeah, there was a mall that I really loved back up in Danbury, Connecticut, and it was an awesome mall because it was the most 90s mall you could imagine. It was fantastic. So going there a couple years back and seeing it fall apart, I was like, man, that's a bummer.
It really is sad. And yes, I'm a mad woman. I blame my siblings. Oh, Casey, you have to watch Funny Science Fiction next week to see if Kathleen changes her name to the Mad Woman.
Ooh.
Picking on her, of course. It's all love. But thank you guys for watching. Appreciate the comments. Keep commenting along. And actually, before we get into our topics, let me tell you guys, this Thursday night is our 3rd annual overnight of our Thanksgiving party.
One of our favorite traditions that we like to do, starting at 10 p.m., running till how late are we going? 2 a.m., 3 a.m., whatever crazy hour we go to?
We're doing 2 a.m. this year. This year, 8 a.m. broke us last year.
Oh, no, we're not doing that again. No. Because by that last 2 hours, I couldn't even realize what we were talking about or how to talk. My tongue left itself a few times. It was very uncomfortable for everyone involved. And this year, we're here as every other year to make sure that you, our friends, our beloved ones, we always want to spend time with people that we care about, especially around this holiday season. So we like to do that through this as well. We care and love about you all. So this is a wonderful way to spend time with each other during our holidays.
Absolutely. I couldn't have said it better myself. So I'm just going to move on to we'll have many topics to talk about, and we invite everybody to comment along, because I know we don't do it too often on our main show, but this one is for everybody to join in the conversation. So please feel free to comment along. We will be acknowledging and going along with you guys. But we're going to have some fun, asinine topics to have fun with. But that's the whole point. The whole point is, if you guys got nothing to do and you feel like you just want to come in and talk and have a good time, please feel free. You don't have to stay the whole time. But if you do, we'll try and keep you as entertained as possible. Yeah,
not hostage-like. Feel free to come and go. It's not like if you're in, that's it. You stay here, and you are here until 2 a.m. If we have to do it, you have to do it. It's not like that at all.
Our 4-hour our 4-hour Thanksgiving show is like the James Bond torture scene. That's
God. Is. Yeah, that's just going to be me getting nut slammed.
And I'm just going to keep winging it. Oh, it's just that's what you get that night.
I don't want to play this game anymore. I want off this ride.
It's so weird. Everybody's taking off this week because it's a holiday.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, the Scene Snobs don't do that. Because we go all year until December,
until we break. I don't just go until we break. One of us loses a gasket. The other one finally go off the rails.
Our Christmas party will be the 21st. That will be our Christmas show. So after that, we don't come back until the 4th. We got a solid 2 weeks off. We will have a New Year's show. But we better have a live New Year's show.
Watching Telemundo.
Yeah. No, it's not live. We'll record that, and then you guys can enjoy. We'll give you some stuff. But we take our solid 2 weeks off. That's what the Scene Snobs do. I love Thanksgiving, but I do feel it's important to be there for everybody and all our supporters and things like that. So we do a show every year for that. And this year we're stacked because we have this show tonight. Last night we had mixed picks. Tomorrow night we have a Real Combat.
Combat.
Oh yeah, Mike Kobe and George G3 from Dueling Aces and Jack Building Prevents. They're on for tomorrow for the Thanksgiving edition. We have our show on Thanksgiving. And then Friday, we have a very special Scene Snobs podcast interview with Brendan Patrizio, who has a new movie coming out called Devil's Triangle. Mm-hmm. And then one of the stars of Devil's Triangle, Morgan Bradley, and Brendan come back for a Real Combat all its own. And that will be our week. And we'll have some movie reviews, too.
Awesome.
It's a stacked week. We took no time off.
No need to.
Nah, we have fun.
Rest is for the weary. Yeah, I mean, it's fun. This is what we do. It's a good time.
If you love it, does it really work?
Yes. Yep.
That's true.
Nope, still work.
Yeah, I did. I put in a solid 12 hours today. So
it's more work because you want to go do it. So it's terrible because you're excited to do it. Makes no sense.
I just want to be like Gary Vee at this point, where I've done the show. It's so popular. Everybody watches it. And then but I'm super rich. So I just give people positive advice while cursing a lot.
I mean, it's a pretty good lifestyle. I mean, just keep working towards it, buddy. It's all about that grind.
I'm doing it, man. I'm so popular on TikTok now. I have 259 followers.
Oh, you are so hot.
Dude, you better believe when I get to that 1,000, I'm doing live shows all the time.
It'd be like Hansel. It's so hot right now.
Hansel is so hot and beautiful right now. Oh.
So we have topics tonight there, big guy.
We do have topics. So a couple things I wanted to cover tonight. Ridley Scott is out here blaming millennials.
Fucking riddle me, Scott.
I like that. So he's blaming millennials for the bomb of the year, I think, with The Last Duel.
No, well, you mean that piece of garbage?
Well, did you watch it?
No, of course not. Why would I?
I don't know. I kind of want to see it because I think it's based on a book, isn't it?
I'll watch it when I can watch it from my couch.
Fair. Okay.
That's the deal I'll make. I have no desire to go to the theater to see this. First of all,
Yeah.
it's some good actors that I'm very happy with who wrote the script, and that's fine. I didn't really care about Good Will Hunting. For some reason, I'm probably just not going to care about this one very much. I'm not really a fan of that period, by the way. So period pieces alone, I have to be in the mood for, except Braveheart.
Yeah.
For some reason, that one you never really need to be in the mood for. You just put on Braveheart. But aside from that and Gladiator, period pieces are particular, and especially that period. Like, France was weird, man. And the haircuts bugged me. And I just didn't really, I don't really give a shit. Just straight up, I just don't care. So yeah, Ridley Scott's great, but fuck him. Blaming other people for the fact that it just bombed. It was poorly timed. Marketing there was a dickload of money spent on marketing, man.
Oh,
I was out in LA and I just saw those pictures everywhere, posters all over the place, billboards up. And I was like, this is why? Why? What's the draw? Who decided this is very exciting? We need this kind of movie right now. It just talk about not reading a fucking room, man.
We need Ben Affleck. We need Ben Affleck as the King of France, I guess.
Oh, sure. Then Matt Damon is a French nobleman. Why the fuck not? Let's put Adam Driver as the King Second or whatever fucking stupid shit that is. No. And Jodie Comer, whom I love.
She was great. Fall Guy and Free Guy.
She's amazing. She's a great actress. I love Killing Eve is so fucking good. And she's amazing in it. Oh, bro, one of my favorites. Yeah. I watched the series twice. It's fantastic.
I can't take Sandra Oh.
I get it, bro. Jodie Comer crushes it. Makes it so much better. She's like it's so worthwhile for her alone. You can kind of X out the O.
That was the best. That was not planned, anybody. That was not a planned thing. Casey came up with that on his own. Give him credit.
So you don't really need to worry about her. The fact that this cast was powerhouse doesn't mean shit. The fact that the writing crew won an Oscar once doesn't mean crap. I don't care. They timed it poorly. No one cares. Why is Ridley Scott can't accept the fact that although he's revered and a wonderful director, I take nothing away from what he's done or who he is, but I don't give a shit. I just don't care. I'm not looking for that right now. That's not what people want. Why? And this is a heavy fucking movie about like someone claiming assault and some shit. Like, yeah, that's like some heavy topics, guys. And we're dealing it with a medieval lens. Why? I mean, we already have one. Literally, it's called the fucking world around us. You know, a world's governments that men are in charge of females' bodies. I think is still pretty indicative of where we are. We haven't moved far along. So if they're just sending that fucking message again, I don't need to see it in medieval France. Pick a different location.
I didn't even have to say a word on that. I love it. I love when that's a Casey rant.
I'm sorry, but I don't fucking care about the French time period. That sucks. Medieval France was terrible. You know what I want to see in medieval France? I want to see the Battle of Agincourt where Henry V whooped the shit out of them. That's what I want to see.
All right. I don't know anything about that, but I will agree with you and say yes.
Timothy Chalamet, the movie The King, the Netflix movie, fantastic flick. If you haven't seen it, that's what that period shows, and that was awesome. Just really well done and better, just better. Everything. Fuck Ridley Scott, man. Sorry, that upsets me that he would dare blame a group of people because of their cell phones. Because that's just crazy old man blabbering now. That's just blithering idiot level stuff.
Like for me, here's the thing. Like he's got a lot of nerve. So let me read what he said real quick. So he said, Disney did a fantastic promotion job, Scott said. The bosses loved the movie because I was concerned it wasn't for them. I think what it boils down to, what we've got today are the audiences who were brought up on these fucking cell phones. The millennial who do not ever want to be taught anything unless you told it on their cell phone. This is a broad stroke, but I think we're dealing with it right now with Facebook. This is a misdirection that has happened where it's given the wrong kind of confidence to this latest generation, I think. I agree with you in this sense that fuck him for saying that, because let's be real. Your movies that were hits, true God's honest hits, and I'm going to read off just the most popular at this moment, and that's Alien, Blade Runner. Blade Runner actually wasn't a hit, so
Yeah, no, that was a
off.
cult one that kind of followed afterwards. It wasn't until his VHS that it was massive.
But I will count the cult status because I do believe that the people he's talking at are those people.
Yeah.
Legend, Thelma and Louise, G.I. Jane was a hit. Gladiator was probably his biggest movie of all time. Not my favorite out of them, but probably his biggest. Hannibal, which did all right. Black Hawk Down, which is another
amazing.
Great movie. But again, did well, but I think it did well because of the time it was. It came out in 2001.
Yeah.
9/11 just happened. It's it was just that moment. Matchstick Men is a really good movie, but I don't think it was a huge hit. Kingdom of Heaven flopped. A good year.
Yeah, well, a good year for I love that fucking movie. A Good Year was awesome. That Russell Crowe movie where he's an old man who gets the young chick by just showing up to some Italian villa. I need to go to a fucking Italian villas. This is clearly where I've been screwing up. I just need to take a trip to Italy.
It wasn't in an Italian villa. It was France.
Oh, well, no, I'm not going anywhere. No, that's not happening. I think I've already. I'm quitting on France for the right now. I don't know how long this is going to last until my anger towards Ridley fucking Scott is done. I mean, come on. What's he done recently? He came out with that crappy Robin Hood, which is really Gladiator 2.
And that's
all it was.
Robin Hood was in 2010. Came out the same year. No, Prometheus came out 2 years after that. And Prometheus, don't even get me started on Prometheus.
Well, Prometheus is a hunk of junk too. No, it's not an alien movie. Oh, so fucking sure. Yeah,
I think his biggest movie or his best movie to come out in the last 10 years in my opinion, people may like Prometheus, but he annoyed me about that movie. He annoyed me about it's not an alien movie.
Right. His whole thing, like he's trying to play the misdirection game, or like he wants everyone to be surprised, and then he's upset when they're not surprised because it takes 750 people to make that movie. So of course someone's going to say something. Like, I mean, come on, man. Like, get over yourself. I'm sorry. It's not worth it. And hi to Mike Courtney and also Kathleen. Kingdom of Heaven, although it flopped, it's still one of my favorites as well. The director's cut is amazing.
The director's cut's the only good version of that.
Exactly. The theatrical cut is bullshit. They do a terrible job. They just slice it up.
That, to me, right there tells you, like, Ridley, maybe your audience isn't movie-based because you do have these sweeping epics that can be very dull at times, because they're long burns. They're long, slow burns. So, like, The Martian was the one that was probably the biggest one in the last 10 years, in my opinion.
And that's honestly one of my favorites. I love that movie. I love that movie. I truly adore that movie. So here's the thing, Ridley. Stop blaming other people for piss poor timing of a movie that nobody wanted. Nobody cared about the timing of that movie. Nobody wanted this movie. Stop blaming other people for the movie. It didn't hit a strike.
Sorry, Ridley, you made 2 alien movies in the past 10 years. 2 alien movies you made, and people don't talk about them. But The Martian people talk about because it is well written. And that's probably why he teamed up with Damon for this and Ben Affleck for this. And it might be a good movie. I don't know. I haven't seen it yet. I'm not putting the movie down.
No, and neither am I because I haven't seen it. I can't say whether it's a good movie or not. I'm not saying that. I'm saying the timing of this period piece is shit. Yeah. And sorry if it didn't strike a chord with people. That happens. Congratulations. Who's not to say that Ridley Scott, of all people, first is like king of the cult movies because most of his movies aren't big. It's like every third movie is big in the theater. And then the fourth one is huge 5 years later. It's strange how it all cycles through for him. Whereas someone like Tony Scott was the hit maker. That man, everything Scott was just blockbuster.
Oh, yeah. One of my favorite directors of all time.
Except, that period where everything was hot. Like I feel like he did like really 7 movies where everything just looked fucking hot.
Everything. But here's the thing. Everything looked hot in a Tony Scott movie. Because think about it. Even go back to me, the best movie in the Beverly Hills Cop series,
second one,
is the second one because it's established by that point. You have Axel coming back for a very good reason of his friend was shot. He has to team up again. Everything is in disarray, but the way that movie is shot and how good it looks, man, it just Tony Scott was awesome.
Yeah.
So I would say everything he did was hot, but there was a it did get to a point where it was almost like a sweltering hot.
Dude, Days of Thunder was just like you were in a pit of fire. They were like, yeah, this track is hot. No, that track is sweltering. That track is the Sahara, bro. That is some brutal heat.
And for anybody who's listening who doesn't know who Tony Scott was, God rest his soul, he directed Top Gun, Beverly Hills Cop 2, Days of Thunder, The Last Boy Scout of Love, True Romance, Crimson Tide, The Fan, Enemy of the State, Spy Game, Man on Fire, Domino, Deja Vu, The Taking of Pelham 123 Remake, and Unstoppable. And that's not all of his movies.
I was going to say, I think Deja Vu was the only one you named there that I didn't care for.
Oh, I love Deja Vu.
I know you do. Movie? Yeah, I didn't.
Oh, I liked it. I think you should give that one a try again. I think you'd really like it.
You think so? Maybe.
Yeah, I do. I think.
Does it match up to Time Cop?
No, I mean nothing matches Time Cop. It's Time Cop.
All right,
it's amazing. You have 2 Jean-Claude Van Dammes in that movie.
Right? Double your fun.
In fairness, Jean-Claude Van Damme has like 17 movies where there's 2 Jean-Claude Van Dammes in them. Yeah, that guy just loves himself.
Of course, he still does love himself. How could you not? He's Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Yeah.
My name was Jean-Claude Van Damme. If I could come out with 2 movies like Legionnaire and Lionheart, which are essentially the same movie,
it's
and
actually
people still go see it.
I looked at Legionnaire as like the precursor to Lionheart. Because he was in the Legion, and that's what he escaped from.
And then he gets brought back, and then he has to do it through again.
I rewatched Lionheart like a week ago.
Oh God!
And it was.
You got real hard Lionheart.
I watched a scene, and I was like, I gotta walk away from this. It's getting real creepy. And it's when he's just following his sister-in-law around.
Yeah.
And like he's just in the shadows, but at one point he's just hiding behind a tree. But here's the thing: he's creepily staring at this school because it's across the street from his school where she's dropping his niece off, and he's just standing behind a tree like only Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Oh yeah, when he's all up on it, I know exactly what you're talking about.
They cut. So first of all, they break the 180 rule, and they cut to look behind him so you could see it's a huge school. And then they kind of dolly over, and there's like 7, I guess they were supposed to be black gang members for the time. Like it was really weird that they were all like had their hands behind their head and on their knees, and the cops just all had their guns drawn. And I'm like, just take away like the horrible connotation that this is giving at the moment. I know it's Los Angeles in the 90s, but really like this didn't need to be here. And that you have this creepy white guy who's staring at a school
with that
very intently.
Top. That same black tank top, bro.
No, he had a hoodie on in this time, so it's even creepier.
Okay.
Even creepier for him because like he's got the slick back hair and he's sweating and it's weird. Mm-hmm. And then like to see like this, I guess it's supposed to be considered a gang. I don't know because you don't know what happened. They're just there. So and all the guns are drawn, and I'm like. No, none of these police officers are going to be like, hey, first of all, what are you doing? Why are you staring at a school? Like, is this what the tax dollars are paying for? Like,
no, he's fine. He's fine.
I was like, this is.
He's just hanging out, man. That's totally okay.
And then she's working at a fruit market in downtown Los Angeles, and like he's just standing behind boxes, staring at her, and then like. Disappears. Like he just disappears in nowhere like he's Batman. It was so weird.
Yeah, it's troublesome.
That was Jean-Claude Van Damme though. Like he tried to look pensive and like it's just come on, dude.
It comes across as like, what are you doing? What's happening? You all right?
That was a creepy one. Like I get like you wanna make sure she's safe or whatever. But like I beg people to go back and watch that one scene where he's across the street from the school because it's super, super strange.
This is going to happen now. Now I'm going to have to do this tonight. Great. Thanks, Mick.
I did that for you. You're going to watch Jean-Claude Van Damme. But the fight scenes are cool in that movie. I do like that. All right. So fuck Ridley Scott. Let's just say that now.
Just for those comments, that's fucking stupid.
Yeah, keep making good movies, but just
he's great for everything he's done. I'm not giving him shit over that. I'm giving him shit over that. That's a dumb comment to make, and to double down on it like that. It's just like, dude, that's just an angry man rant. Cool your jets, bro.
Yeah. Should we go to our next comment? Next topic with Eliza Dushku?
Yes.
All right. So basically, to give you guys a quick rundown, Eliza Dushku years ago was on the TV show Bull. That's starring Michael Weatherby. He was on NCIS, and she was sexually harassed, like pretty hardcore. But because she signed a forced arbitration clause, she signed her contract and it had a forced arbitration clause, when they fired her for not even like causing a stir or going public, like she just said to the star, Michael Weatherby, like, can you please just tone it down a bit? And they fired her the next day, and she was supposed to be a series regular. And she is now testifying in Congress because she wants to break that culture of silence and end forced arbitration clauses, because they show up in companies and corporations everywhere when you sign in. Nobody makes me sign one because I don't care what, nobody's going to sexually harass me. I look like a bear. But
oh, darling, you get me in a room and about 20 more drinks deep. We're talking.
You son of a bitch. Call HR. I did not sign.
I am HR.
Oh, that's true. You are. Listen, you got to stop, dude.
That's fair. I probably should. I apologize for disrespecting your boundaries, and I hope we can repair our relationship going forward.
All right, I'll allow it.
Thanks, buddy. Nice butt.
So just to kind of give you, so just to kind of give you guys a like sort of like what she's talking about. She only came forward because when it kind of leaked, she came forward because people were like, "Why were you fired? Why were you fired?" And Michael Weatherby and CBS, to get ahead of it, really like put a bad reputation on her name. So she came forward and started talking about it because she's like, "No, the hell with this. I may not be able to sue him, but I'm not letting this go." So some of the things she said was off script in front of about 100 crew members and cast members. He once said that he would like to take me to his rape van and use lube and long phallic things on me and take me over his knee and spank me like a little girl, Dushku testified. Now, she testified before Congress with this.
Yeah.
In another incident, she recalled Weatherby, not Weatherby, shouted out that he and his buddy wanted to have a threesome with me and began mock penis jousting. Just weird anyway. Well, the camera was still rolling. Then, as I walked off to my coffee break between scenes, a random crew member saddled up to me at the food service table and whispered, "I'm with Bull. I want to have a threesome with you too, Eliza." This is insane. And I mean, it's nothing new. Women have been going through this.
This isn't insane. This is exactly what the status quo has been. This is what it was. This is the coming out of it side of it. This is the part where all of these things are now being brought to light, and it's unfortunate, but these are things that happened in the 90s and early 2000s that still have to be reckoned with. There is still a reckoning that has to come for all of these situations. And of course, I think NDAs are dumb. Yeah. I think that we got to avoid anyway. I don't think they're necessary. Contracts, arbitration is terrible. I think that private arbitration stuff is ridiculous. Arbitration clauses are scary, and they always are meant to side for the corporation. Unfortunately, the Supreme Court ruled that some corporations are people and representation of people. So they had to have rights. So that kind of screws over people who actually go through these things. And part of the Me Too movement, part of all these other movements and Time's Up and all these other things that have continued to be the groundswells of just getting rid of these pieces of garbage who have been in power for too long or been in positions they need to be removed from. That's what needs to keep happening. It sucks, but it needs to keep happening. Unfortunately, the way things were handled with Eliza Dushku were just awful. That was terrible. But that's what the megaliths can do. That's what they've proven to do over and over and over again, is they fucking steamroll people.
Well, with this too, like, you got to remember, it's Hollywood needs to be slapped in the face. So much I love movies and stuff like this. This stuff needs to keep happening. But this show only started in 2016.
Holy crap! Really?
This is new. I mean, she has been in the business for 30 years.
Yeah.
And she had her own starring show. She was a big star in other shows, and she did this, and she was in the second season when this happened. And they fired her after like 3 episodes because of this. And then I remember them talking about like 2018, 2019, when Me Too was starting to really ramp up. And man, like it kind of went away, and now this show's still on the air, and she's still like considered a problem. And that's my big thing with like the NDAs and stuff like that. This country treats whistleblowers like they're the problem.
Yeah, like people get defensive for the massive companies that are making all the money. It's like, why the hell are you defending the Goliath? Like, we're supposed to be like siding with David here. We're supposed to be stoked for the underdog. We're supposed to see the purpose in the working man, and every person has the right in their voice, and their voice has a right to be heard. And yet we get up in arms and want to be like, no, we side with Big Brother. So many people side with Big Brother because that's what they see. They connect more with a logo than they do with an actual another human being.
I think
where we're at now.
I think a lot of older people are just afraid that they're going to be, that things are going to change, and they don't know what they're going to change into. But I think it's the younger people today are stepping up, and they're like, nah, we need change, and you guys suck, so we'll just take over. And that's where it's going. So fuck Ridley Scott and fuck CBS and fuck you, Michael Witherly.
Yeah. Those are some pleasant and solid fuck yous. I concur.
So our final topic tonight we're going to get into is movie critics, and the shitty ones I want to talk about.
All right. Well, if they're not John Lovitz playing the role of the critic
that's the best
in the show The Critic, then I don't fucking care about him. Or Leonard Maltin. I always liked him. He was nice.
Did I tell you I met Leonard Maltin?
Shut up, for real?
Yeah, he came to Winchester 2019. Actually, Brian from Pulling Focus Podcast, my partner on Pulling Focus Podcast, that's the night he and I met. Leonard Maltin.
What?
Yeah, Leonard Maltin and his daughter have a podcast, and it's called Maltin on Movies. And so they came in and kind of talk about that and talk about his new book and things like that. And they did a huge Q&A, and like we watched one of his favorite silent films. So he comes in, and then he does a book signing after. It was a lot of fun to kind of be a part of, and because Brian, his wife, owns the Winchester Book Gallery here in Winchester, so if you ever need a book, you can buy them online if you're not local, or just stop in. They put out the spread, and they handled the whole book signing portion of it. So it was very cool. That's where I met Brian, and then a few months later we were doing Pulling Focus. But I met Leonard Maltin. I met, and the weekend before that, I met Matthew Modine.
Oh yeah, I remember the Matthew Modine stuff. Yeah, I remember that going down. Because I wanted to go meet Matthew Modine, man, because I just want to talk about Memphis Belle, bro.
He was cool about that because that was Mary's favorite too. Because you guys are Air Force geeks.
Yeah.
But I asked him, I was like, "Who's your favorite Batman to work with?" And he was sitting next to me in the movie. Like Mary and I were sitting at the end. You know me, I like to sit at the end. Mm-hmm. And he's sitting on the stairs next to me, and I'm like, "So, Matthew, who's your favorite Batman that you worked with?" And he's like, "What are you talking about?" And I was like, "You worked with two Batmen." And he goes, "No, I haven't." I'm like, "You were in The Dark Knight Rises?" And he goes, "Yeah, Christian Bale." I was like, "We're here to watch Pacific Heights." He goes, "Oh my God, Michael Keaton." He's like, "I didn't even think about it." I was like, "We were in the theater to watch Pacific Heights." And he was like, "I love that question." I was like, "Oh, thanks, man." And he's like, "You know, they're both great." He's like, "Michael Keaton's intense, but he's so much fun, and he's so funny." And he had great things to say about both of them. But he goes, "Yeah, the funniest thing that ever happened to him on Dark Knight Rises was every time Christian Bale had to go to the bathroom, he had to be taken out of that suit piece by piece, and it always took like 2 or 3 people to help him."
Oh wow!
And he said like he was just kind of wandering set one day. You know, I forget where he said he was. It was some like big like City Hall type place, and he was just looking for like a room to kind of just go and chill in. And he goes into a room, and there's Batman, Christian Bale, getting his gear taken off, and he's bottomless. And like he's like, "Oh," and he like turns his head, and he goes, Christian Bale goes, "Look at me, Matthew, I'm Batman." Like it's just a funny thing. And he said they both laughed. He said Christian Bale's like wonderful and just a really nice guy. But that was a really funny story he told.
That is hilarious.
He only told Mary and I. That wasn't like because he did a Q&A.
Mm-hmm.
So Matthew Modine weekend is what they had, and they showed almost all of his movies that weekend, and he would go in and do a Q&A either before or after. And
did they show Taps?
No, they did not show Taps. They did show Memphis Belle because I went to Full Metal Jacket with George, and we both got to meet him. He was doing free signings and everything.
Oh wow!
And George got his cover signed because Arlie Ermy signed it years ago when he was.
Oh, that's awesome.
So George got it signed by Matthew Modine too, and then like sat there and talked to him and stuff like that because he was like, "Oh, you met Arlie?" Like, so they talked for a while. And then we went and saw that. Great stories there. We saw, and the band played on. I wanted to go see Cutthroat Island, but I didn't get a chance to.
Did you really? Come on.
I did. I did want to see
Cutthroat Island.
It's not great, but it's not bad either.
Bro.
All right.
Bro.
It's, whatever. I fell into it.
If nothing else, we're honest here. And it's fine that you can love it. You know, I appreciate you loving things. Accept the horribleness that movie was. And Gina Davis's hair. Come on. How do you mess that up?
It was all right. I'll play that one fast and loose. I don't hate it, but I get it.
It's like saying Jurassic Park 3 is the best Jurassic Park, bro.
Oh my God. How are we not talking about Jurassic World Dominion? They put out the trailer today.
Oh, did they really?
Yeah. Oh, dude, it looks awesome. How
did I not even watch it? I've been stuck in a world where I've been listening to Frank Sinatra and Adele and just dancing around and cleaning pretty much all day. It's been a very weird day, but great.
Dude, it's just like the whole thing is like they do the whole like prologue of like dinosaurs living during dinosaur times. And you see a mosquito land on a T-Rex and then fly off, and it goes where it all started. And then it cuts to a drive-in movie theater and this little kid walking, and then the T-Rex is walking in and like just tearing shit up. Like,
okay. So it's not walking in with the little kid that's sitting down and hanging out watching a movie. Okay, all right.
No, this is not Tammy and the T-Rex situation, or not even Tammy and the T-Rex. Like, what was that one? Dino the dinosaur, or no, Cleveland the dinosaur.
Pete's Dragon, anything. There.
Anything really. No, this is not that situation. That kid was scared. But like it just kind of, and it was not even like trying to tear things up. It's just a T-Rex walking through a drive-in, and it's gonna tear things up because it's a T-Rex walking through a drive-in.
Just being a fucking T-Rex, man. It's like a bull in a china shop. It's not trying to be a dick. It's just gonna break shit because it's a bull.
I'm so interested to see what's going to happen in this movie because, spoiler alert for anybody who didn't see the movie that came out 3 or 4 years ago, all the dinosaurs got shipped to the U.S. because a black market dealer was going to sell them,
and then they almost got gassed.
But this little girl who I'm not even going to get into her spiel, like just watch the movie, set them free. And just let them go. So now dinosaurs are just living in our world.
Full on William Wallace with that shit.
I love it. I can't wait to see what they do with it. I know it's the last installment, so it'll be interesting. But I love the Jurassic Park movies.
Yeah, no, they're great. I'm a fan. I like that other Chris. Whichever one it is.
Didn't like Jurassic Park when it came out?
Richard Attenborough?
I don't know. Probably no. He loved it. Probably fucking what's his name? Fucking
Sam Neill.
I'm trying to think of a critic. Ebert. Stupid Ebert. No, he loved
Siskel?
it. Siskel. Yeah, bastard. Everybody's dead, and I'm just calling them bastards. I feel bad.
That's great.
But you know what? They always pissed me off because they were biased against horror movies, so I never really respected them anyway.
But look, man, everyone's cup of tea. This is my issue with critics, and this is why I listen to a lot of critics. It depends on where the critic comes from. If the critic comes from the point of view of entertainment, whether they were entertained or not, which is what I try to do as a very low-level critic, is whether it was entertained. Was it good? Did I enjoy it? Did it evoke some kind of emotion within me? Other people like you happen to look at things like, how was this shot? What did they use? Did they follow the rules? Did they break the rules in a cool, fun way and do something new and exciting? You see it on the more technical side, and I get that. And I appreciate technical breakdowns. I struggle with technical grades. if that makes sense.
Yeah. No, I get that. And I try not to in my reviews. My biggest problem with reviewers are, okay, so this is circa 2006. I was in a creative writing course in college, and for anybody knows, I went to Full Sail for filmmaking, and the creative writing course was an elective we had to take. And they had I forget what site he was from, but he was a movie reviewer for this site, and it was kind of a pretty big site back in the day. And he walks in, and this is the weekend. This is like the Wednesday before Superman Returns came out. And I was like, all right, well, I was like, have you seen Superman Returns yet? He goes, no, I haven't checked it out yet. And we're talking before class with the guy. And I was kind of into it because I was like, I liked his input on some stuff. He goes, yeah, it's like, I haven't checked it out yet. We're probably going to watch it soon. Then move forward. We get to the class. He's doing his Q&A and like kind of talking to everybody. And somebody goes, hey, have you checked out Superman Returns yet? And rather than say exactly what he said to me, where he won me over, and I was like, cool, man, I'm going to check out your stuff. He completely shits on it and tears it apart. Hasn't seen it, but he tore it apart. And he was just like, do we really need a new Superman movie? Do we need that? And it's just like completely shit on it, the whole thing.
Yeah.
I got up and I walked out. I was like, I'm not listening to this asshole. I was like, I'm not doing it. And there are so many critics that I watch. Now, everybody's a critic now. Everybody has a YouTube channel, or everybody is somewhere. It's annoying. But even I do it. It's stupid. But I'd like to think I'm at least entertaining, but I don't know.
I'd say so. Absolutely.
Thank you.
Always entertaining to me, buddy.
Well, I also try to at least be optimistic. There's a lot of people who are not. And like a lot of people shit on a lot of stuff lately. And I'm just like, screw you, man.
I mean, sometimes it's fun to shit on things, but it's also... if it's worthy of being shit on, sure. But for the most part, you can find good in almost anything. You can be entertained by stuff that may not pass the grade. It may be a 1-star rating, but you still love the shit out of it and will rewatch it 100 times.
Home Sweet Home Alone again, or Home Alone, or whatever it is. That movie was so stupid. I think my IQ went down a little bit.
And I understand that happens. There are some movies that are just bad. Pacing sucks. They ruin things, like The Village. What a great horror movie until it sucked.
Yeah, that's true. But with Home Sweet Home Alone, for me, as much as I didn't like it, and Eternals, as much as I didn't like it, there are things about it I liked. Mm-hmm. So I make sure to talk about that when I'm reviewing something. There are a lot of critics who won't even do that. They'll just shit on it, or they'll overhype it. But my biggest problem is there's a lot of people who shit on things before they even see it.
Yeah, that's unacceptable. Like, I mean, I'm not trying to shit on the the Last Duel. I'm not shitting on that movie as from the movie perspective. Like I said before, I haven't seen it, and I will watch it. I'm just not inspired to watch it. I don't understand as far as it didn't make money because a lot of people are probably like me. They don't want to fucking go see that kind of movie in the theater. That's all there is to it. We can stream a lot better things right now of higher quality.
Like, well, for one thing, I with Ghostbusters Afterlife, and I'm not going to give anything away because I know you haven't seen it yet, but I read an article recently that really shits on it.
Is Egon dead?
Yes, we know that though. Dead doesn't mean dead, Casey. Shut up. So, and this geeky little nerd boy critic who adds nothing to the list just shits on it because he didn't get the movie he wanted. And fuck you, man, because I know I didn't get the sequel that I wanted, but I got a good story.
Are you fucking kidding me? Come on, Star Wars Episode 7. Bro, people got pissed off because it wasn't their fucking Star Wars. It wasn't the story they wanted. They've waited all these fucking years. Episode 1, people are pissed off because it wasn't their Star Wars. It wasn't the story they wanted. No. They've had 30 or 40 years to create in their own mind what would happen and what it would be. And because things didn't unfold in the manner that they wanted, obviously they just have to crap on it and say, well, my version of my story would have been better. You know, I understand. I get it. I've done it. You know, it's understanding that what you put out in the world shouldn't be that. Shouldn't be negative and nasty about it. No reason to be hurtful. If there's something, if it's crap, you can say it's crap. That's fine. You can critique things. You can break things down. You can do it technically, or you can do it from my way, where I would say, I'm just not entertained by this. Don't waste your time.
Well, I will say this with Ghostbusters Afterlife. It is made for a younger generation. wholeheartedly. But it has a lot of heart, and and you guys can check out my review on it if you want to know my exact thoughts. But like, it has a lot of heart and a lot of care for it. And
does it have a lot of Heartline heart?
Heartline heart. You got Heartline heart. But for me, a lot of people are shitting on the fact that it's not a sort of a raunchy comedy that it was back in the day. Okay. First off, Ghostbusters is a very different movie at my age now than it was when I watched it as a kid. Mm-hmm. And I'm looking at it from the point of view of Jason Reitman is taking over for his dad. Now, Jason Reitman was our age, maybe a little older when that movie was made, and he was on set every day. And this kid grew up to want to be a director. So he made a sequel to the Ghostbusters movie that he saw. And I dig that. I like that a lot. I'm like, he made the Ghostbusters movie he wanted to make for kids now. The way back then, they did not make it for kids. And the only reason we really liked it is because they were running around busting ghosts. And they had cool proton packs.
And Ghostbusters, too. Like, we could watch those if they were edited on TV. That was the only time my parents were all about it. Because I remember them being very uncomfortable with some of the things that were being said, and I didn't understand any of those things at all. Like, it's amazing the innuendo that was in there that slowly built over time. Like, I saw a different movie between 9-year-old me and then 16-year-old me and then 20-year-old me. You know, there's different movies there.
Oh, yeah. And that movie, yeah, definitely. I like Ghostbusters 2 for what it is, but like this movie was a better version of Ghostbusters 2. Like, it was a kid's movie just like that, but a better told story, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. You know, what pisses me off about critics that step in and they start shitting on it is because, they're trying to shit on it, not because you can see it when you read it or you watch these videos. They're not doing it as a sense of, all right, I actually care. They're doing it as a sense of, I want to be a counterculturalist when I do this. And it's some bullshit. Like, shut up. Like,
you know what? I want to be a counterculture, and that's why I want to give love.
There you go. I love it. I love it.
I love you.
I love you.
I love everyone who's listening right now.
You're the man.
You're the man.
And listen, let me tell you, like, I did not like Home Sweet Home Alone, but I sat through it and I actually paid attention. And there are things that I did enjoy about it, but very few and far between. But whenever somebody came to me and said, hey, man, I really liked it, I didn't call him an idiot. I was just, I called Jason Taylor an idiot because I love him. But that's the only reason. I was like, dude, I knew.
But that's because we shit talk each other. If we shit talk you, we're friends.
And that's what it was. We were shit talking each other over it. That's the only reason. But I have to be honest. I did call one person an idiot, but he was my friend, so I was messing with him. So
it's okay. We can mock and hurt our friends.
Yes, absolutely.
We love them all the time.
Exactly. You get it. But yeah, that movie, but whenever somebody's like, hey, I liked it, like my kids liked it. They really liked it. And I was just like, but you've seen the first one. And then I let it go because I'm like, whatever, it's fine. You can like whatever you want. It's okay. But if you can't take away somebody's feelings on it. Like, you can't dismiss that. And you can't put a definitive turn or twist or an impression on people and say, this isn't it. And also, if you're going to write a fucking review, and I'm going to tell you this right now, I'm going to look in the camera as I say it. I'm going to look at Casey. Hold on 1 second. Hold on. I have to do this. I'm going to look right in the fucking camera, and I'm going to tell you right now, motherfuckers. If you're going to write a goddamn review, get your fucking facts straight. I'm tired of looking at things that are, misspelled or look stupid, and you don't get your fucking facts straight, okay? Get them fucking straight. Don't write unless you get your fucking facts straight. Don't pass anything off as a fact when it is not, because you're a fucking tool. That is all. That's all I'm going to say. And whoever's listening or writing or thinks that's about them, maybe it is. Get your facts straight. Just figure it out. That's all I'm going to say about that.
Not me. I like to get on here and just blatantly lie. I found it's easiest if you just make things up on the fly and always include unicorns. People love unicorns.
It's okay to be wrong, too. I've been wrong when I've said stuff.
Oh, of course. I mean, that's the only way we learn. Being wrong and having failures is the only way we learn. I've made a fuckload of mistakes, bro. We've been on the air long enough to always fucking make. How many mistakes have we made? But that's why we research, we learn, and then we just grow from there and don't make the same mistake twice.
But it's also, we keep to our opinions for the most part. Like, so an
valid.
opinion, you really can't be wrong. It's an opinion.
Unless you're fucking wrong with your opinion.
Yeah, don't even get me started on that. Fucking stupid opinions. No, no, but like for me, I mean, it's genuine. Like, you're passing this off as a fact. You're saying this does this, and it's definitive. And then you look back, and it's like, if you had actually done like even a fucking 5 seconds worth of research, you would have realized that you're passing something off that's not a fact, and you're an asshole. And I hate people.
Well, that was a fascinating sum up there. Wow.
I can't stand that. I hate when people do that shit. And I read, and it's a thing. And I especially hate when people do that and they still have misspellings or commas in the wrong place, or just, it's like, God, like, anybody can be a writer today. That's what Ridley Scott needs to go off about, is anybody can be a filmmaker and anybody can be a writer. Now, I don't care. I don't mind that people have that outlet to go and do that. I don't mind.
No, I think it's important to have that. No. I'm going to disagree here. I'm going to push back, because I think it's very important that people now have greater ability to follow their dreams, to be able to pursue these careers, and more outlets and opportunities, because we get great artists out of it. We get people who would never be seen before now, who are just putting together works of art that I'm truly enjoying. So I love that. Yeah. Now you may continue with your rant.
I do too, and I'm so glad that, because we even do it. Like, so we're doing it in a sense, but my problem is, do your research.
Oh yeah,
do it right. Like, you can do this, but if you're going to do it, and I don't even care if you're doing it from an opinion point of view, like we do. But if you're doing it even from an opinion point of view, have an educated idea of what you're talking about. Do not just pass things off, because you can really severely fuck a lot of things up doing it that way, where you turn people off to something that you're wrong about.
Well, bro, I mean, that's misinformation issues all across the board, though.
Yeah.
I mean, that opens that whole can of worms, bro.
It's a whole bitch situation, but we're running late anyway.
That's how we roll, man. Running thick.
We do. Wow. Well, we have like 3 other shows for them this week, so let's just... All right, everybody. We had a good time. We talked about what we want to talk about. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Remember, tomorrow night at 7 p.m. is going to be an all-new Real Combat, a Thanksgiving edition. Then Thursday nights from 10 p.m. to 2 a.m., the Madman and I will be live, and we will be enjoying some turkey. Maybe. We might fall asleep.
Man, I'm going to eat everything. And I'm going to just have like a main line of coffee. And just eating and coffee and eating and coffee. It's going to be ridiculous. I don't know how I'm going to stay awake. I'm going to be on screen with like pumpkin pie just oozing out of my mouth.
It's like 4 hours this time, so it's good. I'm good with it.
It'll be wonderful, man. Well, this was great. We got to cover a lot of topics. Really excited. And hopefully we're going to have a whole lot of fun on Thursday, buddy.
Yes, we absolutely will. And then be sure to look out for our very special episodes of Scene Snobs podcast interview and Real Combat for the movie Devil's Triangle. And look out for some of our reviews coming up. So if you want to know anything about the Scene Snobs, head over to thescenesnobs.com or check out our the end credits, and it'll tell you about Patreon, merch, all that stuff, and where you want to go with it. But until next time, I am, of course, the Scene Snob Mick Manhattan.
And I am the Madman Casey Plott. Be kind to each other.
Thank you all very much. Love yous. Appreciate yous. Love you, Len. Talk to you later.
Thanks for watching, everybody. I'm Mick Manhattan, the Scene Snob, and you can check out the Scene Snobs podcast live every Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern, or you can check it out on any podcast platform or our YouTube channel anytime after that. Thank you to our Patreon supporters. Without you, this wouldn't be possible. If you guys want to join, check us out over on thescenesnobs.com. We have links for everything. The Scene Snobs merch store is open. You can check that out too. Links again on the site. Or like, follow, and subscribe on all of our social media. Again, head over to thescenesnobs.com. It's all there for you guys. Love you, and we'll talk to you guys soon.
Hi, I'm Carrie Ibama.
I'm Quinlan Potts.
And we have a podcast called Truly
Darkly
Creeply.
We think you're going to love it.
We think you're really gonna, if you don't love it, you'll like it a lot.
If you don't like it, you'll hate it. But what did you lose, really?
What, an hour? You're doing dishes. Relax.
Calm down.
Calm down.
But don't relax too much. Those dishes do need to get done.
They do need to be done. If it's true, if it's dark, if it's creepy, we talk about it.
It qualifies.
We talk cults.
We talk heists.
We talk paranormal.
Kidnappings.
Aliens.
Ghosts.
And murders. Serial killer, the typical fare. More importantly, we have fun. If you want to have fun, come on down.
It's free.
What are
it's
you
very
losing?
casual. Wear whatever you want. Show up whenever you want.
Hey, no shirt, no shoes. Yes, podcast.
So listen to Truly Darkly Creeply wherever you download podcasts.